I'm about to live my best life once I can get past just this video. You can do it, T-Tar. YouTube's testing a feature that automatically summarizes a YouTube video. You can't summarize mine. I don't even know what I do in mine. I need to read the summary. Help me figure it out. Abyssal Ruins lore. This is one of the biggest mysteries in Pokemon. Why does this crap exist in Pokemon Black and White? So the Abyssal Ruins is an optional puzzle you can do in the Black and White games, but it's mysterious and there's actually not a proper reward at the end. It's where you get the relic items, it's where you see Arceus plates, and if you put the dialogue together, it seems to try to tell you something. All right, pause a moment. I'm Future T-Tar, and this man has never actually looked into the Abyssal Ruins. So some of the stuff in this leak crosses over with things I'm supposed to know. But hey, I guess you get my reaction to Abyssal Ruins stuff. And you get to see me figure stuff out. All right, cut back. So it's this giant image, and the Japanese here, they've got translated here. I'll trust it. Submarine Ruins. A mysterious building made up by scraping a huge black bedrock. It's said to be about 3,000 years old. That checks out. It predates the Relic Castle, or if one of the two twin heroes make the Relic Castle, maybe the other does this and this crap sinks. Guess it was a very advanced civilization. It is still difficult to make it, and how it was made is unknown. There is no black bedrock in this area, so it's likely it was carried from other seas. What the freaking pyramids again? So here's the deal. It really is some kind of temple structure. Man, this legit makes me think of the Reggies. This sounds like you do this puzzle, you make it to the end, it unlocks 3 Reggie locations around the region. But yeah, official concept art shows this is what the structure looks like. It's the ruins of some kind of temple, and what we see in the leaks right now says that all the rock used for this isn't even from this land, which means someone brought it from somewhere else. Why did they frickin' build it here? It was found at the bottom of the sea, but it was speculated that it would have been on the ground at the time. At the time of its discovery, several human and Pokemon bones were unearthed. At that time, a great discovery that overturned history. But the mystery could not be solved, and researchers are holding their heads. It seems that the people of Isho lived in the old days, but it is unknown where they came from and where they went. So this seems pretty simple, but I'm understanding why it's so mysterious to them. It seems like we all only got civilized now. But it seems like a perfect reflection of the pyramids. It's to show 3,000 years ago, people were so advanced. But either way, they mention 3,000 years ago. And this is a Gen 5 game. And what happens in the next gen but AZ and 3,000 years ago? I don't know what they're trying to imply, but clearly they knew about the next gen when they were making this. Are they, I mean, maybe the answer is down if I scroll, but are they trying to imply this shares some history? A sign like a letter is written on the wall. If we can decipher this, we can understand the purpose of making this ruins, the researcher said. Frick. Yo, what if they... Yo, wait. Just forget Kalos for a second. What if they were praying to the freaking original dragon? Is that not the story of the original dragon? The dragon was like an ancient king's partner. The king had 2 twins, and so the dragon split into 2, but the dragon, the original one, was incredibly capable. What if this was a temple for the original dragon, and this, around here, is where that old kingdom was? Backsetting. The temple that served the king as a god. The temple, which was on Earth at the time, and was illuminated by the sun, was so mysterious that it captivated people. Okay, we're in freaking America. Why is this more and more like the pyramids? Let me pull up that picture again. It's even pyramid shaped. So yeah, there's this image of it, which yeah, isn't a perfect triangle, but some pyramids are like that. But if you look, what is this? I've never seen this picture before. Oh, what the frick? This is from the anime. It shows it as a whole ass pyramid. But they show it on the land. So I guess the consensus, if the anime team has the right notes, is that it's sunk. But yeah, even the freaking pyramids used to be completely covered and reflecting the sun like crazy. I don't know why Gamefreak put it in an American game. It's curious. Okay, the temple which was on Earth at the time and was illuminated by the sun was so mysterious that it captivated people. When other countries attacked, the king went to the front and defended his country. However, he died in battle. For some reason, no body has been found. The queen cannot accept the king's death and is saddened. Okay, keep in mind, this is the backstory that only Gamefreak was supposed to know. This king kinda still sounds like he could be the one that befriended the original dragon. And this explains why suddenly we have the two twins that are arguing over the original dragon. It's like the king suddenly just died one day. It checks out. Bright as the sun, a charming king who believed in the future. Saddened by the death of the young king, the queen built a temple resembling the king. The letters on the ruins were written by the queen? All those poem craps we were reading earlier, like Use Flash. The freaking queen wrote that? And what's this? Building a temple that resembles the king. This what your husband look like? Your husband a Stakataka? The queen who loved the king with all her heart is said to have fallen asleep forever here. So if this story is freaking true, someone took the queen's body. Now the love of two people is standing quietly in the deep sea as if time had stopped, like an eternal thing. The descendants of this... Yo, you throw that out of nowhere! The descendants of this king may be N. That's a wild thing to say, boys. Yo, that freaking fits king. I mean, the freaking fits N. Obviously, he's an orphan. And you don't think, wait, you found this random orphan and made him a puppet king. How could he be the real bloodline? That's just how the universe works, right? And you also don't know how specifically Getsis found N and why he chose to use N. Maybe he freaking knew and he followed the blood somehow. And because Getsis actually has the same color hair as N, it makes you wonder if Getsis, even though he adopted N, it's not his dad, but is distantly related to him. Like Getsis himself is a descendant of that king and queen. And so he just went searching for someone else and made N a puppet. But Getsis still has that true blood. The frick? In this era, there was a clear distinction, but... No, this is good. There's a distinction. So no sleeping together. There's a clear distinction between people in Pokemon and Typhlosions and Slackings. And they lived at a distance from each other. Damn. It's like they read the Typhlosion story and are terrified. You don't have to be that far away. It seems that he thought of Pokemon as a creature that cannot talk. At the time, it was amazing that the king could call creatures. That's so curious. So N in the modern day, he's like growing up in a forest, surrounded by Pokemon, and he can communicate with Pokemon, something very abnormal. The king, people in Pokemon lived apart from each other in this era, but he could communicate with Pokemon as well. Yo, and about to be his frickin' reincarnation. Intention of encryption. By making it a level of difficulty that cannot be deciphered by killer whales alone, I want to put out a sense of continuity and legend as the world of Pokemon. It is the aim. It will be revealed over several years in a different version in the future. You telling me when you made this, that you were planning to, over the next few generations, tell an ongoing story in the background? I don't freaking believe you. I mean, I do believe you. Look at that. Junichi Masuro. Oh, there's freaking more. Message drawn on the wall. Oh, shoot. So these are the things the queen wrote, allegedly. Floor 1, be brave. Do not enter this temple. This is a place that glorifies the king. You feel good there, Melmetal? Move this freaking crap. They talking about you, bro. This is a place that glorifies the king. The king has courage, hope, kindness, dreams, and a spirit of adventure. Only those who aim for the heart of the king are allowed to enter. Okay, so you need to be as ambitious and cool as the king was, or the queen don't let you go in. Maybe the queen's essence is inside the entire crap. Wait a sec. That kind of sound right. You know, if you take a couple wrong turns, you get kicked out? That's kind of like the queen's spirit. Frick. Go up and test yourself. To try is to aim for the king. If you read this sentence, it is on. The frick. Floor 2, during the sermon. Plot twist, it's a central ass translation. I'm gonna translate it actually. Okay, I'm not gonna manually check it, but I've translated this across multiple ones and put them together. I think this is what it's trying to say. The second floor. To live means to be grateful for everything. To eat means to accept all life given to you. There is not only good and evil, there is also a middle ground. Do not remain wild or uncivilized. Do not act recklessly. Battles create nothing but sorrow and suffering. And then 7 is, if you understand, emit light. And this is where in the game you'd have to use flash and it would open up the pathway forward. So it seems this line here and this line, as you get to the end of each floor, you're kind of supposed to accept what the queen is saying, and that's what lets you into the lower floors. But the queen is the one writing all this. She even says something interesting, which is it's not about justice and evil, but there's a middle ground. So it seems like this kingdom is so civilized, it's not primitive at all. It's not like cavemen. All right, the third floor. The king must possess the ability to communicate with living beings. Bro, that's the first one? I can't do that. Well, with living beings, yeah, not Pokemon. The king must have the strength to envision the future. The king embodies all hope and ideals. The king must have the strength to both love and protect. And then if your thoughts align with the king's, proceed, pretty much. All right, last floor. And this one is actually just like the pyramids. When they call that inner chamber the king's chamber? This is called the king's space, the king's room. But there's 5 final lines. 1. The king defeated 1,000 enemies in a single day. The king made 10,000 allies in a single day. The king saved the lives of 100,000 creatures in a single day. They're trying to put the king on the level of a god here. But remember, it's the freaking queen writing this, so chill. Go remarry or something. He probably wasn't that good. The king is the hope and future of the people. And then here lies the great king. But it actually, this bit here says Rifuge. Like gay free, like Gamefreak backwards. They give a name to the king as Rifuge. So the ancient king's name that made 100,000 allies is King Rifuge. That's the husband you married. We could talk more about this name later, but to have a name is freaking crazy. Gamefreak never disclosed this. All right, so that's all of that. Then we get to the very end of this document, which has symbols. I can't freaking understand these symbols, but you really trying to look like some hieroglyphics. At this point, it has to be the case, right? Somehow a freaking pyramid ended up here. You know what? You never know. Maybe it's a pyramid that was supposed to be all the way near freaking, Spain and Egypt. But it was floating in the ocean. And so over 3,000 years, it freaking floated to America and then sunk. And that's how it ended up here. We have 1 to 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million. I guess it's their ancient language? Let's go to the central tweet, see what he's saying. It's the statue in the Pokemon League from X and Y. It kind of is. Please tell me Alder's ancestor was the king. They highlighted bright as the sun and put this man. He better not be. If I don't care about him. I want to see some green man with some locks. Let's keep going. Silvali's memory disk contains fragments of Arceus plates? Yo, it's freaking effed up. Does it still, or did you scrap that? So he legitimately is a man-made Arceus. How do we explain the existence of this creature? Who figured this out? People don't even know Arceus exists. How would you make a synthetic creature that it's not even using 18 discs? It's made to use specifically Arceus fragments of power. They even call its ability the RKS system, or in Japanese, the AR system. But what everyone thought back then was that it was just like a funny tidbit. But now we're freaking seeing whoever created Silvali's blueprints somehow knew information about Arceus. Let me look at Silvali's face. Holy, I mean, that's not Arceus' eyes. God, it's just a mess. But you see what you can do with this. They made it a mess because Arceus uses all 18 types, so they try to make a Pokemon physically reaching as many types as possible, and then gave it a disc to use all of them. You could have a post-game story where this thing mutates into an actual dangerous threat. The kind of crap you need Zygarde to stop it from ruining the ecosystem. I mean, a man-made god? And this thing has no relevance in the story? Ku is now hinting that the starters for Legends EA are Chespin, Froakie, Fennekin. However, he mentions there's something different about them. When did we get back to Ku territory? F this. Oh, frick, we're done. I've scrolled to the top. Wow. This day has finally come. 15 parts of the original, 5 parts of the sequel no one asked for. Get the hell away from me, leaker. No freaking more. Ooh, but one last thing. According to Ku, Pokemon Legends ZA was originally planned to get new info this month. Whether that's true or not, and the leak delays their plans, we probably will never know. Well, there's like freaking 5 days left in the month. Either way, it makes sense. Pokemon said, F that, we're not releasing info ever since the 10-12 incident. Remember, everyone knows where they were. Pokemon had 2 options. One, we try to overshadow the leaks by revealing this bit of Legends EA info, or fearing that that would funnel into people more so looking at the leaks. Option B is to let everything fizzle out and then later on reveal Legends EA info, which could get just straight pushed to February, who knows. But Ku, don't think I freaking forgot. You made a promise. You freaking made a promise that by the end of this year, we would know the starters for this game. What is this though? What is this photo you've put? It's like it's got freaking gummy worm packet. Here's an idea. If you're scared about the leaks getting out, the smart idea would be to release it faster, not delay it longer and give them a chance to release it to the public. Yeah, Gamefreak, release it with the bugs. Before we end this video off forever, I have 2 things to say. One, the leaker that leaked all this, they said they played Legends EA. Something seems off with that idea. I kind of feel like they never did play it. So that's the first thing. And then 2, I think Ku knows absolutely nothing about Legends EA at this current moment. It's subject to change. But I just wanted to say those 2 things. Shank that like button. We're done. We're free. Go outside. Live your life. And I guess Emo Mia will strut this all again. I'll see y'all.